What's going on, guys? It's Jared back with today's trade recap. I'm actually going to be trading from the road the rest of the year, so I'm operating off of a laptop, so things look a little different. Also, today I made some changes. I actually switched from a share-based approach to a buying power-based approach, which really makes more sense overall, because a lot of the stocks I really have enjoyed trading over the past couple years are now at price levels where me using share size rather than just a set amount of buying power and therefore a dynamic amount of shares makes way more sense. But I am adjusting to it a bit. So I did take 2 trades today, and it was my first time to do it under this buying power approach here. And the first was on PTON here. And so PTON, for example, was a stock that I wouldn't use to trade. I really didn't like trading stocks over $60 or $80. $20 to $60 was my sweet spot, and that's because I was operating off a set number of shares every time. And I thought that approach was nice because it allowed me to easily calculate my stop out and everything like that, because it was the same number of shares. Therefore, the price fluctuation could move the same number of cents every time. But there's huge drawbacks to that, and that was me getting priced out of trading a lot of different stocks. So this approach is cool. So today I was watching PTON, Apple, which again would be stocks you would never see me trading under my other approach. PLTR and plug. I just took 2 trades. They're both winners. I actually had a monster day today, so really happy with my first day. And again, I'm operating off just my laptop today, so nice and simple setup here. This is my PTON trade, first trade of the day, and you could say the catalyst for this is unfortunately bad news overall, which is the virus scare going on, the new strain, which is good for these COVID plays here like PTON. So in the morning, it gapped up on the daily. You can see that here, gapped way up. So it was a strong stock. It sold off in the morning down to this, blew through the 50 MA all the way down to previous day low, and then really started taking off. And I waited until I think after the first 5 minutes here. Yep. And I was focusing mostly on the 1 minute chart. So let me move that out of the way here. So we see it came down, dropped off on big volume. Then the bulls started coming in. People started going long. It got above all these moving averages. And what I really loved that made me want to buy in is it bust through VWAP with a lot of volume. It maintained it. And what I loved is right here, it dropped back down through a hammer that closed above all these moving averages, including the 100 MA, which I personally find, besides VWAP, to be the most important MA on the 1 minute chart. And this previous candlestick here also held at the 100 MA. And so right here it came down. I wish I got a little bit closer to the MA itself, around 160.50, but these stocks move quick. So I got in here at 161 and I partialed out towards 162 all the way up. My best partial is right around 164. It came back down. We threw this hammer and we threw it on much lower volume. So relative to these candlesticks, these two right here were relatively lower. So what I liked is low relative volume on a pullback. Then we threw a hammer. So I felt really good about this ad. It didn't work out. I stopped out at break even, but this was a really good trade. This was my best trade of the day, and very fundamental. Very fundamental trade. You can see it as an ABCD pattern, if you like, right? So this is A, B, then we got C down here, and then D's up here, right? So you can see it as an ABCD pattern. Also, if you really wanted to, you could view this as an ascending triangle, kind of. I mean, it's not a perfect ascending triangle, but it also kind of throws that. And the reason is you see higher lows. So you're getting higher lows over time here on really nice volume. So really like this trade, best one of the day for sure. This was my second trade. I misspoke earlier. My first one was on PLTR, which wasn't, it was a nice trade, but you just didn't get as much price movement. So it wasn't as exciting or dynamic, but it was still a very profitable trade for me. So here, really nice setup. Obviously, really strong bearish volume. Now, I did start dying here, which did make me hesitate a little bit because I was wondering if maybe this level was going to hold and we were going to pull back up. But what I liked is now this is a really obvious, nice descending triangle. And I don't have my mouse today, so sorry for the bad drawings here. But really nice descending triangle, clear as day, lower highs. And so I took it short here. And stop out was if a new 1 minute high was formed, I was going to be out. It dropped. Volume started coming in. I really like that. Partial, partial, partial. I wish I would have partialed right here around this 28.20, and this was a failure by me. I hadn't looked at the 1 minute chart in a second. If I had seen that the 200 MA was here and pushing upward, I would have gotten another partial around here, but I didn't notice that, and I was really hoping to get to the $28 mark. So I didn't take a partial down here because I was trying to hold my remaining shares for 28. But again, had I noticed the 200 MA was pushing upward on the 5 minute, I would have definitely taken a partial somewhere down here. I don't know if I would have caught the bottom, but somewhere down there. I didn't. On the way back up, I didn't like the fact that the volume, although at first I wasn't worried about this volume because, on a relative basis here, it's about half the previous candle, which is what I like to see on a pullback. So I wasn't worried about it at all. And at this point, though, I did notice this 200 MA, and that's when I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take another partial here because it might be over, and then out just before break even there. So another nice trade for me. So that was my day. 2 trades and done. Very, very profitable. Very happy on new buying power here. And again, happy that it went so well as I transitioned to trading from the road again here. Hope you guys had a great day as well. And happy holidays.